real thing. My dad went to the University of South Alabama, USA, and now there are three main schools in my family, and you're either part of these three. It is 2% University of South Alabama, and it is 48% Auburn, and then the rest goes to who else? University of Alabama. Aunt Christine, she is an Alabama person. Ironically, we're talking about Kevin. He is the biggest Auburn fan you'll ever meet, And here's the weirdest thing: Auburn's like here, and Mobile's like way down here. Why are they fans of Auburn? I've never understood that. But oh well, that's for another story, another lifetime. My family, I love them, they're the best. I want to give a shout out to my mom, Arla Kelly. She's checking this out. Mom, I love you. I'm glad you are here. But you know what, though, guys? I want to start with Lord Man Greg because he teased us a moment ago. Greg said he is probably from the great Cinderella School of Birmingham Southern College. Greg, what do you think about Cinderella? I know
it's not Cinderella. There's no Cinderella. It's a school that went freaking broke. Let's call it what it is. Let's just be honest.
That's right.
Let's look at the fact that it's a 168-year-old school, that the alumni didn't support it, because if they did, they wouldn't have gone broke. The students don't support it like they should, because if they did, it wouldn't have gone broke. The government didn't support it, because if they did, it wouldn't have gone broke. Let's call it what it is. Not a Cinderella story. It's a sad story of an institution run horribly for X amount of years. I already saw they're over $30 million in debt. They got a lifeline last year. There's not a Cinderella story. Yes, it would have been great had they won, but would it have been? Would it really? It actually, their season ended just like the college did. Last year, the college got a little lifeline. Here's your little lifeline. You had a little walk-off, and now you get the last game, and you get beat at the end. It's exactly what happened to the school. They had a lifeline for a year, and then you got beat, and you closed down at the end because your alumni didn't come through, your community didn't come through, your state didn't come through, because now all you're going to end up being is you're going to be a movie set for somebody else that's going to shoot a movie out there, and they're going to use it as a college. It's shut down. It's done. Whatever. It's not a Cinderella story. It's a sad story of a horribly run organization.
We know what TV organization's probably going to do a show on them. The 30 for 30 is going to come. ESPN, they're going to come a knocking because it's one of those good stories. It's just what ESPN does.
Because they caught fire in a little bottle for a couple weeks. Big deal. There's we have such a great program. No, they haven't. Let's just call it. Everybody's hyping it. You've been hyping it on Twitter. You've been, it's a great story. It's not. It's a sad story. And at some point, you guys got to stop looking at it from a sports perspective. Oh, it's so wonderful. They all get a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy. No, they don't. They're going home. They all had to find new schools because the school was horribly run. Sad enough, at least they get to keep the uniforms. I'm sure they took them home on the cars that they drove in, because they didn't have a bus to ride back in because they had no freaking money because it was run horribly. It's not a Cinderella story. It's a story of riches to rags, and that's all it is.
Ooh. All right, JD.
Hey, and Greg. Hey, listen. You just said exactly what my story and my notes were to the T. You just mentioned that they probably had to walk back home because they didn't have a bus to ride back on. But I will say this, there is nothing like an underdog story. And yes, I hear you. Absolutely. I can't disagree with anything you just said. It was a horribly run, situation from the get-go. But I will say this about hey, we're going to talk a little bit more about how players and athletes are real people. We're going to dive into that a little bit more in coming episodes. But you literally just said it. And so the one story that I highlighted was after they lost, they said, hey, coach, we don't want to fly back. We want to take one last bus ride with all of us as players and all of us as coaches and as a team. And all of that stuff, I literally have the link on my Facebook that I sent to myself for this specific reason. So, Greg, you couldn't have led me there better. Hey, it is a sad story.
And you got me crying.
Hey, listen, I'm not for giving out participation trophies. I don't think any of us are. But I will say, from that team standpoint, though, they did say, "Hey, we don't want to." They did have a flight home, they did have a flight,
Didn't
but
they
they
have a
said, "Hey,
GoFundMe account as well?
yeah, they
Yep.
did, and that's probably how they paid for that flight." Hey, how do you think Caitlin Clark got flights? I mean,
Oh
hey,
Lord, here we go.
everybody's got a little GoFundMe or something, but no, you led me right to it though, Greg. Like, yeah, I mean, hey, how many other programs have we lost though? Like University of Alabama at Birmingham lost their football program. We've got Furman right up the road lost their baseball program. It's going to be one of those things where there's going to be more programs eliminated that a lot of people feel terribly about.
But here's the thing: this is the whole school. This is not the program. This is not, and
Right.
I'm not even knocking the players, right? I get what you're saying about that. I'm looking at it as a sad story as a program. It's a sad story as a whole thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, look at this. This is so sad." All these people on ESPN, all the people on Fox, and all these other places, all these news places who have come out and said, "This is such a sad story. You should have donated some money. You should have donated $10, $15, $20. You got millions. You got, as far as ESPN and everybody." And as they sit there and say how bad it's run, they did nothing. The only reason it's on their radar is because of baseball team. And so, yeah, I applaud the baseball team. But if I'd been a player last year, I'd have been out of there and found me somewhere else to go. They were hanging on by a thread. So,
Very true.
I'm happy for them that yes, they made it to where they made it, and all that kind of stuff. But it'd have been cool if they won, but they didn't, and they didn't because it's actually a perfect representation of the school. The school was hanging on by a thread last year. They got a little lifeline, just like they had a walk off the other day. And now all of a sudden, what happens? They get walked off. It's the same thing that just happened here. They didn't even know the school was officially closing until spring break. But you know what? And I saw some of the, not players, but I saw people talk about the school and they're in tears. I didn't know. Yes, you did. You knew
it was coming.
When the news said you had to find $30-something million and you didn't have it. So at the end of the day, some of the students who chose to be there, and now they're all in tears and everything. Well, you should have thought about this last year. So it's not a Cinderella story. I'm sorry. It's not. It's a, you know what? Great job, baseball team. You put them in the news. You should have done better before. Had you put them in the news earlier, maybe they would have raised some more money.
That's
And
true. Shane,
you'd have somewhere to play next year.
I want to go to Shane on this. They lost to Wisconsin Whitewater. Wisconsin Whitewater is not a pushover school in general. They're pretty good in football. I believe they have reigned supreme for quite a while in the D3 football playoffs championship series. Shane, what do you think about the Birmingham Southern College program as a whole? And I know you got some good stats on this, so floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, well, the baseball team and what they did, that's one of the best feel good stories that we're going to have of the year. But it is what it is. It's a feel good story. I mean, it feels good because of the sad situation that was brought about. Upon my research and what I found, kind of looking up, back in the early '90s, they really made a whole lot of moves as a college that really made no sense. They wanted to go D1. When they went D1, as a D1 school at a certain size, you have to offer so many athletic scholarships to players. That in turn is, taking away money from the college. So, the way that Greg alluded to and the way it was run as a, presidential, side and a board of directors of the college was completely idiotic and unlogical to sustain any kind of business model in the future. We hear a lot about the school because of the run that they went on. Even Topps, the baseball card company, has come out and they're talking about making cards for the players. And with the way the schools run and everything that comes about with the accolades from these players and this team, I hope with the way that the NIL is set up that the school doesn't receive any kind of accolade or any kind of monetary value for it. And I hope the players and the coach and everybody that's involved in that situation gets the recognition that they deserve away from the mess of the school part.
Absolutely. So we all know this, and I'm going to say this. We all agree this is the feel good story of this year right now. But y'all, we're only in June. We still got 6.5 months to go of this year. So you're gonna have the the team of the year moments coming still to go. You still have World Series. You still have NBA. You still have the NFL. You have a bunch going on. We all know who the SB awards are. I watch them. We kind of harp on them a lot, actually. I think it's really cool that they award some of the best teams, best moments, yada yada yada. So I'm sure ESPN is gonna somehow award them an SB award. So we're just gonna have to kind of see if this can be like the best feel good story ever. I don't know. We're gonna jump too far on that one. We don't see a lot, with D3. We don't see a lot with NAIA schools even. But this is a feel good story. I mean, a school who knew basically they were gonna close the doors. These kids were playing just because they were playing, basically. Like I said, I would not be surprised if ESPN does come in. Greg, you said it possibly too. Someone's going to come for a movie. ESPN's 30 for 30 might be coming and knocking, so who knows what's going to happen on that one. I want to turn it, though, to our fans who are watching. We have a lot of people on here. I want the first person to type in the word ball. If you type the word ball, I'm going to bring you on, and you're going to give us your 2 cents about Birmingham Southern University, college. I want to hear your thoughts. We want to talk with you. Make sure, type it in. I know we have people there. We have 27 people viewing right now. Let's get it, guys. Until we get our first person to come on, let's go to another topic here, okay?
Well,
go ahead.
Just on the same point, not much love to the smaller schools, divisions, and stuff situations. I'd like to give a shout out to Florence Darlington Technical College, not a couple minutes down the road from us. Made it real deep in the JUCO playoffs. Congratulations to that team. I believe it ended up like 3rd, 4th place. Kind of a good run. Had a good team, but it's just one of those things that, with it being a local school, we kind of tuned into and kind of brought everybody's horizons a little bit broader to these lower divisions.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a small schools. They mean a lot to us. Yeah, my wife played at 2 small colleges, Spartanburg Methodist College over here up in Spartanburg, South Carolina. She even played back then at Reinhardt College, which is now Reinhardt University, Waleska, Georgia. They're a small school. I do have a person who's going to come on. His name is Bryce. He actually just messaged me and said, can I come on? Because I want to chime in about the baseball. So, Bryce, I'm going to bring you on, buddy. Be ready. In 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our man, Bryce. Bryce, what is good, brother? How you been?
How are y'all, man? Jay?
What's going on, brother?
All right. So we want to hear your thoughts on Birmingham Southern College. What do you think about the whole situation? Greg has already said he's not buying it as to a Cinderella story. He's not buying it into that, this is the ultimate feel-good story. What do you think?
Honestly, I feel like I don't know much about baseball, but I feel like it's a feel-good story, but the school is just borderline poor. So there's not much more to be said. I feel like a lot of things have already been talked over, and I think y'all have some great points.
Absolutely. And it's always good to hear a fresh perspective on what we talk about, because how many people, raise your hand here, be honest, did you know about a school called Birmingham Southern College? Because I don't see anybody's hand being raised. I mean, I don't know. I never knew about it. And like I said, I'm from Alabama. You think I know these things? No. JD alluded correctly on, though, about UAB. UAB was a historic program. They lost their football program because some genius thought it was a great idea that it was not bringing in money. Well, you saw how fast that reversed, and they not only did the boosters raise the money needed to bring it back, they even renovated the stadium. You have some good quality alumni.
And I'm sorry to interject there. Not only did they re-energize and bring that program back, they went and got Trent Dilfer as their head coach.
Yes.
And if you've never seen this guy on the sideline, holy
Whoa.
smoke, he will
Guys.
straight bring it to you. Hey, he is tremendous. But dude, I don't think we see a lot of schools close down. Let me just cap it off. I'll throw it back to Brandon real quick. Sorry to interject.
Mhm.
I don't think we'll see a lot of schools closing down. But I do fear that a lot of our hobby sports like swimming and track and golf and whatever it may be that's mixed between men's and women's sports, I do fear that in this future of college realignment and NIL, I do think we're going to see a lot of those programs go to the wayside. We saw it in COVID. We've seen it with restaurants. People are going to start running out of money at some point.
I mean, that's a
I think
possibility.
That's a bigger discussion for another show.
Exactly.
My quick 2 cents on that. I think you're just going to see the haves and have-nots. You're going to see a major league and a minor league. You're not going to have they can all be Division I because Division I is bigger than football. This is one big thing people don't think about. There's a huge Division I. Division I has hundreds of teams. They're just not all football, right? So you're going to have your Power Fives or Power Four, whatever it is now. You're going to have that sitting over here, and then you're going to have everybody else. So you're going to have that, what Brandon was talking about, us knowing the smaller colleges. Some of these schools are going to become those smaller colleges again.
Yep.
Not by population of students, right? So I think that's the big thing. It's not by population of students. But the Birmingham Southern thing is very different than UAB. UAB losing a football program because of funding or whatever reasons is very different than a whole school closing down. Yeah. So they're not even in the same area code. I mean, they're just totally different situations. Birmingham Southern mismanaged the entire educational system. It's much bigger than baseball or anything else, right? This is a whole over $30 million in the hole for a school that's over 170, almost 170 years old. It's crazy.
Absolutely. You got to wonder what the overall thought process was. I mean, I kind of understand because you want to be like your big brothers. Shane even alluded to it that they wanted to be, a D1 school. Well, when D1 school, when you make that jump to D1, a lot more money comes to the table, and then you got to worry about, can you pay for it? And if you can't pay for it, you're going to see how fast things go. JD, you had mentioned actually, and Shane, Bryce, I'm sure, and Quentin, I'm sure you guys know who this is. Furman University. I'm the actual producer of Furman Athletics. Love it. Shout out to Dan Scott. He is watching. Dan, we love you, man. I can't wait to work with you again this summer and going into fall. Guys, JD, you mentioned about the baseball program. They did eliminate the program because of COVID. It wasn't really bringing them the money. We are softball people. We're a softball home. Furman's softball program, I didn't know this actually. They don't charge to go into their games. So you can kind of see where lack of funding was coming and everything. And then you also have to look at their baseball program as a whole. Was it not bringing any money? They said it wasn't. However, there is a petition that has gone around. I believe at the last time I checked, it was 400,000 people have agreed to they want to come back. And the talks amongst the university, which we will have the AD come on at Furman in the near future, talk about Furman athletics. He has said that there is a possibility by 2028 we could see Furman baseball back. So, we do see small schools lose programs and gain programs all the time. It's just about sustainability. Before we go any further, I want to let everybody know this is a kid-friendly, family-friendly show. We did have an unfortunate person who used inappropriate language in our chat, and they have been removed. So please make sure you use.
Hey, hold on. I've been waiting to do this all my life. I've never been an umpire. You are out of here, sir.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Please make sure refrain from using that kind of language. It will not be tolerated. We will remove you. We will block you. I know we have a lot of people who chime in. We have kids who watch this show. My children, in fact, are actually in the room. I have kids 6 and under. So please refrain from using that kind of language. Now, I want to also introduce one new thing. Our good friend Mariah Patel again, and my good friend Philip Sapp also played a role in this one. Mariah has cleaned up our new logo. As you see, our little guy over here, our little peanut guy. This is from our man Greg. Still, he's gonna be used no matter what. But our good friend Philip from Dirty Fanatics United has created our new logo. So without further ado, there he is. He is updated. He's more hip, and Mariah has cleaned up so it looks even more beautiful. Thank you, Mariah. We really appreciate it. So let's go on to the next topic, y'all. Does anybody know who Ethan Darden is?
Not until this past weekend.
That's right. He is the starting pitcher. Well, a starting pitcher for Clemson University. He did something we don't see a lot of in baseball these days. Yes, I'm talking about the ever famous hidden ball trick. Now, quickly, before we go into it, does anybody know what the hidden ball trick is? Raise your hand if you know at least what it is. All right, very good. It's overwhelming. Guys, this is what's really cool. Him and third baseman Blake Wright got together to try and get out of a critical moment in the final regional game between Clemson and Coastal Carolinas. And guys, it worked to perfection. Coastal's Dean Mijos, I guess is how you want to say, stepped off the third base to get ready for the next play, and Blake quickly tagged him to end the threat. And now, guys, I've only seen them in videos, and I've seen the movies. I would love to be able to witness that in person. I'm going to ask each and every one of you, of course, because I want to see if you guys have seen it in person. Because, it is a very real sorry, I got to block somebody. Twixie, you have been removed, please. Dweezy, sorry. So we have seen some really cool stories about the hidden ball trick. I'm going to start with you, Greg. Greg, have you ever witnessed the hidden ball trick? And if you have, tell us about it, please.
Not in person. I've never seen it in person. I've only seen it in highlights or, replays and things to that effect. But I've seen people try, but they usually don't have the patience. And I think that's the key. You got to have the patience to hold on to that ball. And most players don't have that patience.
Okay. Now, I remember seeing also in the video, the third baseman the third base coach is actually yelling, "He's got the ball. He's got the ball." And I know we all are going all over the place, and we're thinking about the next best thing. And we step off the plate, we're tagged instantly out. Shane, you played ball. Did you ever get to experience the hidden ball trick? And if you did, what was it like? Or have you ever even seen it happen in your life?
I've seen many attempts at it. Played baseball through many different leagues, and from time I could basically sat up there with holding a bat, watched it. We my age group, we all watched Rookie of the Year. If you were ever a sports fan, you watched Rookie of the Year. You saw it on there. You know what's coming. It is what it is. And to the fact, that Clemson almost gave up on it. You saw him take the ball out of the glove and start throwing it back, and then he took off from third, and he jutted right over there and got him out. It's one of the hardest trick plays that you could ever try to pull off, but it does work in some occasions, and as Greg mentioned, it takes a lot of patience to get it done. There's a lot of other kind of silly trick plays, bush league plays, whatever you want to call it. In my day, one of the best trick plays is what I call the potato play. Be as a catcher, you'd hide a potato underneath the chest protector. You'd throw it over the third baseman's head if you ever had a runner on. Left fielder go out there, stomp on the potato. You'd have the ball the whole time. It's just
that's pretty clever, actually.
It's one of those things. You can get creative with it, and that was one I learned in college. So, So it takes certain levels and certain deeks, and hey, you got to commend anybody for trying it in a real game.
Oh, absolutely. I want to go to JD because JD, look, he's already rubbing his hands. He's ready to go. JD, have you ever seen the hidden ball trick? Have you ever been a part of the hidden ball trick?
Unfortunately not. I can't say that I've ever been a part of it. I can say though that there is a certain aspect to all these games, and I think it's Mr. Iceman over here who called the hidden ball trick Bush League. But hey, when I was playing baseball, man, hey, we were doing whatever we were doing to try to win the game. And I had someone tell me one time, and a head coach, no less, who's won state championships over the last couple of years, Coach McCarthy down here in Clinton, South Carolina. My man, hey, he told me flat out, he said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And so
Oh yeah.
to pull off a hidden ball trick, though, I mean, it takes discipline. The pitcher cannot step on the mound without the ball in his hand. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. But, hey, we all practice this stuff. We all practice what we're about to say. We all practice these trick plays. Shane Beamer obviously is worried about being more creative on special teams than he is on offense as the Gamecocks football coach. So, I mean, there's a place for creativity, but you've got to find the right spot. And, man, hey, Clemson, they nailed it the other night. They won their region for the first time since 2010. You won't catch JD giving Clemson much credit very often. But, hey, credit to them. Good luck versus the Wolfpack, baby. Or no,
Oh, Lord, here
sorry,
we
they're
go.
playing Georgia. No,
They're playing Georgia. They're playing Florida.
Yeah, no, yeah,
right?
They're playing Georgia. Hey,
Florida.
well, hey, good
Florida.
luck to the Wolfpack, and take my good luck away from the Tigers.
All right, Bryce. I'm going to throw it to you, buddy. Have you ever seen a hidden ball trick? Have you ever witnessed it other than TV? And if you have, tell us about it. Because, obviously this is something you don't hear. And I do have a guest who's about to come on who they have played like this. So I'm letting you guys will enjoy it.
Honestly, all I played was Pee Wee baseball, and that's about the last baseball game I've been to. But I think I've seen like some TikTok and stuff of it, and then you explained it to me the other day. So no, I've never really seen the hidden ball trick.
Oh my goodness! So I'm going to bring on a special guest. As you see, JD has two special guests that have just walked into his room. JD knows this special guest. Greg knows this special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I want you to get on your hands. Get off your hands. Stand up. Give a round of applause for the one, the only, the most beautiful woman that has ever walked the face of the earth. My wife, Cassie Keeler, baby. Woo!
Hey, Cassie in the house. Let's go. Unmute that microphone.
Yeah, unmute your microphone, baby.
I'm muted. Give me a second here. This is all new to me.
All right,
Cassie. So talk about how you played with the hidden ball trick. You said you played like this.
So I played for Chris, and right now I'm having a blank on his last name, Hawkins, from USCS and USC Upstate, sorry. And we played on a travel team together, and he taught us a hidden ball trick. But in softball, in order to make it work, because we can't come off the base like in baseball, so in softball, to make it work, we threw a pitch. Then the catcher held on to the ball and act as if she was throwing it over the third baseman to the outfielder. And the catcher ended up having it in her glove, and that runner would still home. We called it move over Bethany, move over whatever. And it was like they would take 2 steps from the line, and we would just do a trick play on them. And it worked probably 50% of the time until people started catching on to us, because we were at that point a travel ball team. So they didn't really, they would watch us. They would scope us. They would keep at us and keep watching. And so a lot of people are starting to figure out our trick. But it is a lot of fun to do and see people's reactions.
So you guys have heard her say she's been a part of it. Greg, what do you think with Cassie telling you what she has said about, they had a play called Move Over Bethany or whatever to be the hidden ball trick?
I mean, I think it's interesting that you have a play called that. It's definitely something that if you're gonna make it part of your strategy, you should have a name for it, right? You should have, and like you said, or like we said earlier, you got to teach the patience. You got to teach a strategy around it. Most of the time, it seems like it's kind of ad hoc and like, okay, we're just gonna pull this off. But Cassie, I think it's interesting that you guys like probably practice. I'm gonna ask the question: did y'all practice it? Like, did you like rehearse it per se? Because to me, it's not necessarily a play; it's more of an act. So did
Yes,
y'all
we did
kind of
actually
rehearse
practice it several times.
So I think that's interesting. That's part of the actual strategy. I have my own feelings about it being a part of a strategy, but hey, if it works, it works. It is what it is. But yeah, I think that's interesting. That to your point, though, you can do it that often, right? I mean, if you're going to tournaments, you're going to a whole bunch of different places. At some point, they're going to say, "Hey, watch them. They're gonna do this hidden ball trick." So I think that's interesting. That it's actually part of the strategy.
Shane, what do you think about what Cassie has said with regards to the hidden ball trick in softball?
Oh man, I'm with it. I mean, I've been part of plenty of teams. I mean, we've done different many of plays. When you talk about pickoffs to first base, missing the first baseman, pitchers got the ball the whole time and get them in a rundown. We had a play in high school called Tomahawk, where the shortstop would cover second base and actually cross in front of the runner, and just as soon as he crossed, we would drop our glove as the catcher, and the pitcher would pick off behind him. It's different strategies. I mean, we're all out here to win a ball game. We're not here for participation trophies, like you said, Greg. We want to win, man. And as we practice every little thing to do, like JD said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. And I'm from right here, right now, so we're going to try to get it done.
Absolutely, JD. You played. You know what the hidden ball trick looks like. What do you think about what Cassie said, that they made it kind of an importance to focus on something like the hidden ball trick in softball?
Well, here we'll break it down real quick. Hey, Bryce, I'm sorry, man. Hey, thank you for joining us, Bryce. First of all, we got you muted down here. That's all good. Hey, we appreciate you being here. But yeah, for me, so listen, I played high school baseball. I was an all-conference baseball player. If you know me at all, I like to toot my own horn from time to time. So toot toot. But yeah, hey, we practiced first and third place, and so the hidden ball trick was kind of something into that. So I mean, if you've got runners at first and third with less than 2 outs, you know that runner at first base might potentially try to steal. But hey, we had plays that it would be a 3/4 steal, or we would literally go half speed. It was something to try to entice getting into what we would like to call a pickle, which, hey, if any adult out there, we all know what being in a pickle is like. So we literally would try to entice that, though, into scoring a run. So, yeah, the guy at first, he would literally try to steal half a second base, and he tries to get that attention. And so from a defensive perspective also, you've also got to kind of prepare for that thing. So we had plays where the shortstop would come up and pretend to cut the ball off. Or we had plays where, hey, we knew that the catcher was going to throw it through the shortstop to second base and get that out, depending on what the situation was. So, I mean, to me, though, that cannot be the big focus. To me, practice, it's all great. It's all well. It's all good to have a trick play up your sleeve every now and again. But if you have too many, guess what it is? It's a crutch. It's a crutch. And if you're performing
is that
at
ever
the
true?
fundamental level that you have to perform at, which is what's become the case now. I even had somebody tell me earlier, man, high school athletes are way better than what they've been in the past. Dude, they're just all getting crazy. So, yeah, these little trick plays, all that stuff, that's going to be a thing of the past as you see us transitioning now into more like stat driven, logical decisions. But yeah, hey, it's all fun and well to practice when you're playing 2A baseball in high school or 1A baseball in high. Like, hey, have a few trick plays, have some fun.
Have some fun while you're having fun, right?
It's a crutch. It's a crutch at the end of the day.
I will say that we only use this, and I'm going to say it very nicely because we didn't use it very often. It was used only when we were at threat of losing the game. They had a runner on third. It was the last inning. It could have been the last out, or maybe there was one out. We only used it for that purpose, and it actually did come in handy when you needed to pull it out of your pocket. As we're watching the College World Series, I hate it that Florida. I want to see a different team other than Oklahoma. We keep seeing them for now 4 years in a row. I love Oklahoma. I've always rooted for them. They have a great team, but I'm tired of seeing them now. I need somebody new. So had the Florida team not given up a home run, could they would have won, of course, but could they have pulled a play like this? Possibly. I didn't see, unfortunately, we're at Vacation Bible School picking up kids, so I didn't see the very end of the game yesterday. And so could they have used something like this to help them win that game? Possibly, so that they didn't have a walk-off home run. I don't know. I don't know if they had any runners on yesterday. But I think it helps in the fact of a game as something like that. This is just something that you use up your sleeve every once in a while. This is not something that you have a crutch on. It's not something that you hold on to and, hey, we're going to do this because they know it's coming. You just hold on to it until you have to use it. And it sometimes can work in your favor, and it sometimes may not work in your favor.
Right.
That's what, it's a great thing.
Look at the Philly special.
Yeah. It's a
The
good
Philly
thing to
special.
have in your back pocket, but to me, we practiced it way too much. I don't know. So tell me, Cassie, did y'all practice that too? Did you take away? Because to me, I think the South Carolina Gamecocks football team, I think that we focus too much on special teams creativity. And I think that takes away from us focusing on fundamentals and things that can actually help us in the game. So to you, Cassie, do you think that y'all spent too much time on being prepared for that? Or was it just the right amount?
We only used it or practiced it maybe once in a blue moon just to remind us on how to do it. And if we had different players in those positions as well, it was just practice that. It wasn't anything like, okay, let's go practice our trick play today. It was just something quick, a reminder, and then done. It wasn't focus on it. Let's get it down pat. We worked on it a good bit to learn it, and then after we've learned it, it was just a reminder, maybe right at the last 5 minutes of practice or whatever.
Right.
But it wasn't every single practice either.
Right. Yep. Very well said. Hey, my man Brandon, let's get this thing rolling. What we got coming up?
Great. I'm getting off.
Absolutely, guys. I want to go ahead and say thank you to Cassie for coming on, chiming on. We really appreciate it.
Sorry, guys. I gotta
Cassie.
go get kids ready for bed.
Hey, no, go do your thing, hon. We all know. Thank goodness for Kara doing the same thing for me right now.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, just want a quickly reminder. We have had a couple people who have been using inappropriate language. Please refrain from doing that. You will be kicked out. We do not want to lose our fans. But before we go into the next subject, I want to introduce to you guys a very proud moment for the Sports Nuts crew here. They are watching. They unfortunately can't come on, but they are watching. We have a partnership who has been agreed with a Mexican restaurant here in Easley, South Carolina, Tequila's Grill. It is so good to have them on. We are thrilled. I have already sent out the notifications to like them on Facebook. Please do check it out. Y'all, when I mean this is some really good Mexican food, y'all, it is some of the best we have ever had. Dude, when I'm telling you, our kids are picky eaters. JD will even confirm this. Our kids are picky eaters. They devoured the food at Tequila's Grill. So make sure to check them out. Make sure to follow them on Facebook. We are going to have a live remote broadcast with them. We are excited to be with them. Cannot wait for the future. Shane also has a deal in the works with someone who has actually just commented. We will go to them in just a second, but I want to talk about this subject because we're running close to time. And then we will get to our other shout outs. The NBA finals are about to be underway. And I'm going to use this term lightly. This is going to be touted as one of the weakest NBA finals in recent history. Now, the reason why they say that is because of Boston's strength of schedule, not only for the regular season, but the postseason as well. We have seen plenty of Celtic teams come and go in the postseason. You know, you've seen great players like Jason Terry, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. The list goes on. But then you have a player like Jason Tatum, who has the chance to become legendary. And I mean legendary. However, does anybody know where Jason Tatum goes majority of the time in the postseason? His best work is on a milk carton, looking for the 1-800-COME-FIND-ME number. I want to start with you, JD, because, you know, you're a LeBron fan. You're a basketball guy just like me. What do you think about this matchup in the NBA Finals between Dallas and Boston? You know, you have Luka Doncic. You have Kristaps Porzingis. You have Jason Tatum. What are your thoughts on the NBA Finals? And then I also want to follow up on that one as well is who wins the finals and how many games?
All right, so hey, I'm not much of a prediction person, so I'm going to lead it off, though, by saying these few things here. I will say that I am superiorly impressed with Kyrie Irving and the growth that he's had over the last few years. Granted, I know that my man was on the internet too much, talking about the flat earth and talking about, anti-Semitic videos and things like that. But to me, Kyrie Irving, though, at this point, has reverted back to 2016 Kyrie Irving, where my man is just playing ball. He has played lights out, and him and Luka, man, they've got something going. They do go a little bit deep there in Dallas. And hey, I'll tell you this too. I've got trust issues. I've got big trust issues. So I don't trust Boston necessarily either. You know, they've won 64 games or whatever. They were 64 and 18 or whatever the case was. Listen, I've got trust issues with them. They have made it and failed just like the Buffalo Bills of the NFL. So to me, though, this is all about Kyrie and his comeback party. It's all about Luka and his coming out party. So, I'm sorry to drop the word coming out and coming back so many times at one particular time. Here we go. But, hey, it's where we are. It's what we're talking about.
Greg, I want to throw it to you. I know you're a basketball guy. I mean, heck, we're all on here because we're basketball people. We're sports nuts. That's what we are. What do you think I'm using the word weakest NBA Finals based off of what ESPN has touted it as. What do you think? Do you think this could be the weakest NBA Finals matchup in recent history? Who do you think wins the NBA Finals?
I don't understand. Well, they're just saying it's weakest because they have nothing else to talk about. There's no reason that the NBA is not as exciting as it used to be. The most exciting basketball to talk right now is the women. Let's call it what it is. The NBA has become a three-point shootout. So, and now what do we have going into the finals? The two teams that shoot the most 3 points in the NBA. So it's going to be a three-point shootout. That's what we're going to have. I don't think that's, it's what the NBA has become. I'm not going to say it's boring. It is what it is, right? But, you don't have the athlete. You have the athletes, but you don't have the athleticism of everybody, doing the jams and the alley-oops and all that kind of stuff that we've seen in the past. All the highlight reels like that. It's all, can I shoot from the logo? But that's fine. That's the game today. I think what's interesting about this team you're saying about the Celtics and their strength of schedule, but they can only play what they play. See, to me, once you talk about strength of schedule, that applies to college football. That applies to NFL. But beyond that, they play a very small amount of games. When you get to the NBA, when you get to NHL, you get to the WNBA, when you get to Major League Baseball, you're playing everybody. How can you complain about a strength of schedule? Now, yes, you may have.
I've been wondering that too with what they were doing. When I heard ESPN say strength of schedule, I was like, this is not college.
Come on. Exactly. And then when you start looking at what have the Celtics done? They're the number 1 team on offense. They're the number 2 team on defense. They've been that way the whole year. Think about what they did last year. They got, upset. They made some adjustments. They went out there and they got Christie. They went out there and got Drew. And boom, here we are. We're in the finals. Then the Mavs, what are the Mavs doing? They're 8th on offense, 18th on defense. But bigger than that, after the trade deadline, the Mavericks are 8th in defense. They improved themselves 10 spots. So I think we're going to have a decent finals, but I think the Celtics are going to dominate it, to be honest. I think the first, once they get to Dallas, it'll be a good thing, but I think the Celtics take it in 5. I don't think it's going to be close. I think there's going to be one game that the Mavs grab that's going to be at home, but beyond that, I think the Celtics take it. I don't see any reason why they don't.
Okay, I can see that point on that one. My man Bryce, we're going to come to Shane in just a second, but I'm going to go to Bryce real quick. Bryce, do you agree with ESPN that this is the weakest NBA Finals matchup in recent history? And then who do you think wins the NBA Finals this year?
Honestly, I think the Celtics don't have a chance. We've seen what the Mavs can do against the number 1 defense in the NBA with the Timberwolves, and they blow them out by 50 points. The Mavs are just going to outplay the Celtics no matter what they do. They can't stop Luka. Kyrie's coming for revenge after leaving Boston. There's nothing they can do. And the play with Derek Lively is playing out of his mind for a rookie.
So you're saying the Mavs? What are you saying the Mavs win? How many games does it take for them to win it?
4 or 5. It's either going to be
Wow. Hey, listen, I'll go ahead and say it now. Like I said, hey, I'm big on the Luka and Kyrie train. I'm big on Kyrie finally growing up. Like I'm just so glad he's past it. Like, I don't know if y'all heard him speak the other day, but he had a press conference like him and LeBron, like, man, they've hashed things out. Like, there's a certain maturity level that Kyrie has brought, and I know maturity doesn't translate necessarily into basketball skills, but man, I'm telling you, it looks like my man is focused on what he needs to be focused on. It looks like that Kyrie and Luka have a dynamic duo. Boston has home field or home court.
Yes.
Is that? Yeah. Listen, hey, I'm telling you, if Dallas gets game 1, watch out. Listen, watch out. If Dallas gets game 1, now if they get game 2, I'm a little more torn on where the series might go. But if Dallas gets game 1, hey, I'm telling you, Kyrie's got that killer in him, man. And I'm telling you, he's gonna be looking to end that thing fast. And
he's got the dog in the fight. He is a dog. What did MJ? No, who was the one that said it's not the size of the fight and the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight and the dog. And Kyrie has got something unbelievable in him.
Hey,
he still has glimpses of greatness.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Let me tell you all this too. Listen, as of a few years ago, I'm a Kyrie detractor. As y'all know, I'm a huge LeBron fan. But they have both apparently come out now, which I give more credit to Kyrie's maturity than I do LeBron's maturity over these last few years. LeBron is still doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result. Kyrie figured out, he's like, hey, I can't keep doing these same things and expect a different result. And so Kyrie has changed himself. And so to me, that is the most interesting dynamic going into these NBA finals this year.
Absolutely. Shane, I want to hear what you have to say because, we're not leaving you out on this, and obviously, because you know basketball. You told me you know it like the back of your hand.
No, I didn't say all that, but but
Y'all remember, Shane is the $1 million man. He has that yacht back behind him, in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, hey, my man always wearing a golf hat and shit. Or shoot, sorry. My bad. Finally dropped one. My bad.
But I'm with everybody. I'm kind of on the Dallas train. I think it's going to be a competitive series. Strength of schedule, as Greg said, it doesn't come into effect much. I do look at the playoffs and what the teams have had to go through in the playoffs, and not necessarily the teams that they had to go through, but the series that they had to go through. So you look at it, it may be a lesser team, but hey, in the end, you still went 7 games with them. So it's still rough on your body as a professional athlete and everything else. So that takes into account more so in the postseason compared to the regular season. So when you talk about regular season strength of schedule, I don't want to hear it, but postseason, hey, we're talking about series and multiple games, series against players and teams that are up to at least over half of the standard of the NBA. So like I said, that proves something. As you said, Jason Tatum on the milk carton whenever the games come around. I have a feeling that this final series is going to be completely different for him. I do fully expect him, in the way that he's played all year, to show up and be that great player. But in that same sense, you cannot count out the last 5 minutes of a game. I would not take anybody this season other than Luka and Kyrie. Almost. I mean, they have become they have been the most clutch players all year. Dallas keeps the games closest in the end. They will take over and win the game. Porzingis is a big key to this series. He's done scrimmages here lately. It's looked good for him. If he's at 100%, this series is going 7. In my opinion.
Absolutely, I can see that.
It's going to be great. But now, if you put a hobbled Porzingis out there with Luka and Kyrie, I mean, even with Tatum and Jaylen Brown out there, kind of spreading love on defense, it's hard. They do so many things that are good, if not great, on Dallas' side of the ball offensively. I'm not sure. I'm interested to see how it goes, but a hobbled Porzingis could be the downfall of the Celtics in this finals. I also look for PJ Washington. Old Charlotte Hornet from right up the road. I think that he is going to be a big key to the series. But eventually, I think all in all, Boston is so one-dimensional. Yes, they had a great offense, but they're so one-dimensional offensively that I don't see them covering enough games throughout a series against the same team to be able to repeat what they did in the regular season. So I'd almost say Dallas in 6 right now.
Oh, okay. So it looks like we could all.
Hey,
it's kind of torn.
First games tomorrow.
Yep.
We're going to know everything better about the whole series after this first game.
That's right. Game 1 winners usually take the series, according to ESPN stats, 68.3% of the time. So we shall see what's going to happen. Y'all, I'm going to do a little more fun topic on this one, and I'm going to start with Greg on this one too, because Greg is all over the world. That's why I call him the man, the myth, the legend, because he is all over the place. We've seen some really. Yeah, we have seen some really good sports this year, right? And we only hit the halfway point of 2024. Now, I want you, the fan, and everybody as well watching, to think about your favorite moments so far this year in sports. Now, here's the kicker, though. You can only go back to January 1st of this year. It means you can choose college football, college basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, NFL, NHL, you name the sport, it doesn't matter. We want to hear it. So I know I was going to start with JD, but I want to hear Greg because, again, ladies and gentlemen, he is the man, the myth, and the legend for a reason. He is all over the place. Greg, what is your favorite sports moment for 2024 so far?
I think the key is my favorite, not necessarily what has impacted everybody else, not necessarily your favorite or the person down the street or Stephen A. Smith's favorite or JD's favorite or nobody else's favorite. Mine would be a walk-off home run by Travis d'Arnaud in the 10th inning of the Braves home opener. I'm sitting there. I'm there in person. It's everybody's excited. That's the thing. So you got to think about you coming into opening day is the home opener. Granted, it wasn't opening day for the Braves season, but everybody's packed up in there. It's a Friday night. We kind of give up the lead. We go into the extra innings. We're all like, "Are you kidding?" And here comes Travis d'Arnaud. He smacks a double. Boom, we score. Walk off. Place just erupts, right? And I think that to me, that's my favorite moment so far, for me personally, because that was enjoyable to be around that. So that's where I'm at.
All right. So I'm going to go to Bryce. Bryce, what is your ultimate favorite sports moment that has happened this year in 2004? Now, remember, you can only go back to January 1st.
Honestly, it was Luca's game winner over Rudy Gobert. Just such a great game winner to have. I think it was game 4 and push them ahead in the series. I mean, you just can't write something better than that.
Oh, absolutely. I can understand. Now, I know he is waiting patiently. You can hear him eagerly typing away on the keyboard. JD.
Oh no! Hey,
Wait. Hang on. We know, one, your elation with the fact that your Lady Gamecocks went 38-0, won the national title. But you have until January 1st all the way to June 5th, 2024. I want to know what your ultimate favorite sports moment of 2024 is. Go.
all right. Well, hey, this is for all of my brand new 220 followers on Twitter. I set a goal. It was 200. So for Cockadoodle Boo and for my cocky Texan and for all of the cocky faithful followers, Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered. Hey, you want to know what my favorite moment was? When Ray Tanner finally decided to listen to me, baby. He finally decided to
He
listen.
picked up out of ecology, right?
Fired Mark Kingston. Get him out of here. You're out of here. I've been waiting all show to say it, baby.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Shane, I'm going to save mine for the last.
I've got more. I can keep going, but you took me off.
Beep, LeBron, you're out of here.
You can mute me. Yeah.
All right, Shane. Shane, the floor is yours. I want to hear your favorite sports moment, sir.
Fan, as a lot of all the sports nuts, mixed nuts, hey, glad to see you out there watching, listening, everywhere. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Everybody knows I'm a big NASCAR fan. The second race of the season that we had in Atlanta was probably something that we didn't expect, especially with the repave and everything else. We expected some decent racing, but man, it was nonstop. We had a 16 car pileup on just the second lap, the most in track history. Every car on that race, was on the edge of its limit. It was just a great thing that I've witnessed in a sport that I love. It's probably one of the best races that I've ever watched on TV or in person. And I've been to some special events. So, I mean, that's one thing to say. But, we look at that finish, man. The top 3 cars finished 0.007 seconds apart. That's you blink your eyes, you miss the end of the race. That's basically what we're talking about right now, and that's the top 3 cars, not just first and second. You know, Corey LaJoy, who is he's a great personality in NASCAR. I'd love to see him in greater equipment. We saw what he did in Chase Elliott's equipment last year, but you know, he said, man, every lap I had to reach up and tighten my belts. You know, and another favorite quote that I had from him during that race is, man, this was like a high speed, mentally a high speed chess game every lap. And they're running laps in 28 seconds. You know, I can't think of what I'm doing minute to minute, but they're doing this in 28 seconds and making these moves, man. It was just one of those things. I mean, it's me and my cousins have already talked about it. We're going to the race next year just because of this.
Guys, you just heard Shane tease something, and we're going to get to just something in that in a minute. Let's go to. So I noticed. Have you guys noticed something different here? There's only one.
Yeah,
Two,
yeah.
three.
Unfortunately,
Hey,
we have to
guys.
say goodbye to a good friend. Good,
Yep.
Greg, my man. Hey, sorry we didn't get to sign you off.
Hey, guys.
Oh, wait.
Greg is
Hey, here we
actually over.
Listen,
Oh,
hey, we got
trouble.
a Greg replacement. Here, we got a Greg replacement right here. Here we go. Here is little Greg Jr. here to sign
Little
off.
Greg
Greg,
Jr.
Can you say night night?
Oh, and there he goes.
Night,
Night night.
Hey, but guess
Say
what?
good night,
Guess what?
sports nuts.
Guess what? Guess what,
Hey,
Paxton?
Poops, he's coming. He can hear
Paxton,
you.
guess what?
Say what?
I love you.
Oh, see, guys. That's what makes it better right there. Y'all, we had to say, so first off, I want to say thank you to our guest who did come on tonight, y'all. I have to give the biggest shout out to my soulmate, the one who completes my life, who has been through everything with me, the mother of my keeps me straight is my girls and her. So my 4 girls, y'all. I have 3 physical and 1 on the way. Aspen, I cannot wait to see you, baby girl. Guys, my wife Cassie for coming on. It has been a pleasure having her on. Our man Bryce, thank you for coming on, man. We really enjoyed having you on and getting your insights. Hope to have you again soon.
Hey, sorry you didn't get in more, Bryce. We love you. I feel like you were muted a long amount of the time, but hey, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do.
Like this? Oh, I just got him on that one. Guys, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Greg Troxel had. Hey, my mother just said hey. Greg Troxel had to sign off. He is doing stuff with the great Ashley. Guys, please keep her going. Cheer her on. Cheer Greg's family on. They are some of the absolute best people. I love Greg. And I know he probably thinks, why does he say he loves me? But you know what, though? I'm telling you the truth. I love all my guys. They're my team. So let's go to Brandon's favorite sports moment, because I have quite a bit. First off, guys, did you know that JD does not know the show 24?
You talk about what, Kiefer?
Yeah, he does not know the show 24.
Hey, listen, every time you say 24, the law and order thing pops in my head every time. Go ahead, Shane. I'm sorry.
You were too old not to know 24, my butterfly.
Guys, so I tease him all the time on this one. So,
I'm gonna go with I'm too uncultured to know it.
You know what? You're fired. All right, guys. So here's my favorite. All right. So this one is actually. This one is, you know what? Technical foul again. Gosh, you have like 5. You're going to be suspended for the first game of the playoffs. All right. So this one is both a sad and a happy moment for sports. I was a season ticket holder for the Georgia Forest Arena football team. I mean, a die-hard arena football fan. Heck, I remember watching Kurt Warner play for the Iowa Barnstormers, which is a team that doesn't even exist anymore. Why? I don't know. But guys, we have already mentioned this before, and the sad part is we're having to say goodbye to the AFL. Coach Vince, you guys remember him coming on. He is actually part of a United Arena Football League in the upper portion of Michigan. So he is that will stick strong. So keep cheering on Coach Vince.
The
Yes,
upper,
it's
the
the upper
Uper,
AFL.
the
The
Uper.
the Uper, as they call it, the Uper. All right, so if I had to go to another one though, I would say it's the college football national playoffs last year, man. If you're going into it, the entire series of it was amazing, as I truly did think Washington was going to be a team of fate, and they met Georgia. But we've seen what's happened, and I think there's going to be a lot more coming. I think college football is about to open your eyes, and wait till you guys see what I have lined up for Friday. JD, who I'm telling you guys, JD and I, we talk, and he has no idea what I got lined up. Shane, on the other hand, no, Shane doesn't know. Shane doesn't know either. Greg doesn't know. Nobody knows. Even my lovely wife doesn't know. So it's going to be a good show. But you know what, though?
Secrets
we've
don't
had.
make friends. Secrets
That's
don't
true.
make friends.
Just remember 20. Hey,
And
but remember
friends
this: the
don't make
24th theme.
secrets.
Well, just remember the 24th theme. Oh, wait, you don't know.
Hey, yeah, hey, every time you say that, all I hear is
Dun 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 dun. No, I
yeah,
gotta
the
stop.
Law and
All
Order
right.
thing. Every time.
All right, guys, we have a great week of sports coming up. The NHL Stanley Cup Finals are going to be here. Woo! I'm a diehard hockey person here.
Y'all,
we have
hey,
the
let me.
NBA.
Can I drop? I'm sorry to interrupt. Can I drop that NHL stat? Have y'all looked at that yet?
What's that? The one you got muted? Oh! All right, JD, go ahead.
Wah, wah, wah. But hey, I'm sorry. I know we're trying to sign off, but that one
Yes.
was too good to leave unsaid, bro. First of all, what do they do? 2-2-1-1-1,
No,
or do they do the
it's
2-3?
2-3-1-1-1.
2-3-1-1-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, hold on, that math.
2-3-1-1. It's 2-3-1-1.
Okay. Dude,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
have y'all seen the distance between these two teams playing for the
Oh my
Stanley
goodness,
Cup?
it is nuts.
Over 2,500 miles. They're like changing time zone. So hey, listen, if athletes can survive that, if any person can survive going through all that nonsense, you can survive tomorrow. So hey, we all love you. We are the Sports Nuts. I'm sorry I interrupted. I'm probably suspended and banned. I dropped the curse word. I am LaFlop, and I'm sorry. I love you all anyway.
All right, guys. So we have the NBA Finals starting, as you guys know. We have the Super Regional starting of college baseball World Series. Whoop, whoop. We have big Major League Baseball series coming up. Hold on, because I know what you're going to say, JD. Whatever we have coming, we have it here. We will cover it here. Guys, right now we're actually watching Oklahoma and Texas in the Women's College World Series. Oklahoma is up 5-1. I don't know. But we have a lot more to talk about coming up in the coming weeks. First off, Shane, you have a little bit of a sponsorship deal going with somebody. Please share with everybody here what that is.
Yes. Yeah, I've got a bunch of good friends, man. I got one in particular, Mr. Matt Huckabee, who is he's a brother of mine. Not blood related, but sometimes those are stronger than any kind of blood relation that you have. He's reached out for some sponsorships. Much thanks to him. We've also got some opportunities. Got another couple of connections that we're reaching out. Mr. Big Dave Eats out the Greenville area. Would love to get something going with him. My barber, which of course I don't need much of one. I still go to him. He's been his barber for years, so we're looking doing something like that. Also, look, we've got the tumblers. I'm just waiting for one in my hand, and say here's mixed nuts. Here it is, finally. Here we are. So we've got multiple opportunities, multiple things going on. Hey, we're also looking for more sponsorships, more partnerships out there. Reach out to us. If anybody's interested into working with us in any sort of way, hey, we're more than interested in working with y'all. So, please reach out, and we've got much, much more to come in the future.
Boy, do we ever. So, as you guys see, the lovely sports, no, I'm not Vanna White, the lovely Sports Nuts shirt is on me. Our man Greg makes them. Head on over to his page. He will have the link up to order your shirt. Get them while you can. These guys are going like hotcakes. Woo! My mother is actually wanting to get one for her and my stepdad. They're on the way. Mom, I promise you're on the way. Guys, this has been a fun episode, except for somebody forgetting the 24 theme. And then also him dropping a little inappropriate word, sir.
Well, first of all, hold up. Yep, I got to apologize. Let me go ahead. All right, so, hey, JD, it's time for you to sign off. Hey, thank you, everybody, for...
No, you stay here, sir.
Yeah, hey, thank you, everybody, for getting me up to the 200 follower mark on Twitter. Hey, man, Susan Lloyd Photography, big shout out to you. I was at 198. You retweeted it, and, man, I hit 220 in just a matter of minutes. So shout out to Parker's Tiger on Twitter. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Hey, we are the Sports Nuts. Hey, we are real humans, just like the athletes. And guess what? We might have a topic coming about that soon. So, hey, we all
I got some good news, too. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are y'all ready?
We waiting.
We stay ready.
All right. As Shane has mentioned, we might be going to a race next year. We might do a little broadcasting live from a race. Woo! Hey, we're trying to work with the Greenville Drive to maybe do a broadcast from the Greenville Drive game. Please, if we do, we will have all the details laid out for you. I promise you it's going to be fun. We're going to even start doing some raffle giveaways. We're looking at the Gwinnett Stripers, not strippers. Stripers. This is a G-rated show. Gwinnett Stripers, minor league baseball team of the Atlanta Braves.
You would have made me feel a lot better if you would have said stripper.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We even have. No, I'm saying from my mess up. If you would have had a little blue.
Hey, listen, you married my sister. You better calm down now.
Hey, no, whoa. Hey, ain't nobody interested in no kind of. Hey, yeah, I'm trying to go.
G-rated, sir.
Stripers.
All right. Our man Shane is going to actually reach out to the Charleston River Dogs. Maybe we can get something going with the River Dogs. I don't know. Hopefully we do. Yeah. JD, you're trying to get something working with the Atlanta Dream, right, sir?
Man, hey, listen, I'm telling you what. I have never called a women's basketball team before, but they called me back like a thirst trap. But when I called them back, they didn't answer again. So they're making me work for it. So, yeah, we've got some stuff in the works with the Atlanta Dream. We've got some stuff in the works with some prominent WNBA players like
yes, we
Asia
do.
Wilson from the Gamecocks. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, you never know what we're going to get into on this episode of the Sports Nuts. I am JD. I am apologetic at this particular moment for dropping the S word. I feel like I was on the phone with my mom. And I dropped
Lord. I'm your mother now? All
right. No. I'm just saying the audience, I try to treat the audience with respect. And,
there you go.
You know, I just try to be nice and cordial.
Unless
you're talking about my Gamecocks, in which case you'll get the harshest of the harsh.
All right, guys. So here we go. We have a show coming this Friday. Please check us out, 8:00. And I mean, we got some good talks to go. You're going to love it. Share, like, subscribe, follow. The more we go with subscriptions, the more content you get. Guys, we got to introduce a new show that already has made its debut this past Saturday. It is the one and only Saturday Shorts with Shane O and JD. Shane's got some good stuff lined up for it, and I can't wait for you guys to see what he's got lined up for it. JD, our man's got some good content he's going to share with you guys. Our man Greg, hopefully he can do it this week. You know, he is out of town, so if he doesn't, maybe JD will get his little 5 minutes of fame. I don't know. We'll see. So, guys, share. JD, I'm gonna start with you. Just your handles. I'll do ours, but you do the shout outs for your handles, sir, for your socials. Go.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we built it up to 40 followers at the Sports Nuts, at JD Wyatt 06, JD Wyatt on Facebook. Y'all come at me. Come tell me how dumb I am. Come tell me how stupid I look. Come tell me I shouldn't have taken a shower before I got on here tonight. Who cares? I don't care. Y'all come tell me whatever. Be blessed, not stressed. I'm out.
Shane, my man, give your socials and yeah, we want to hear it, brother.
Oh yeah. As always, find me on Facebook, Shane Owen. I'm there. You'll see me with the hat and the beard, as always. Snapchat, Shane O'Mac 1240. Comment, man. Chat with me. We want to know what y'all want to hear about. That's what we're interested in bringing, the most exciting and most entertaining sports talk that you guys can have out there, being your newest sports broadcast. Check us out. Brandon's going to give you all of our handles on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Don't be afraid. Hey, I started this just off of a whim a couple months ago, and this is the best time that I've had. So please, everybody join.
Yes, sir. It has been the best.
Hey, big facts right there. Hey, I got sucked into it too. Thank you to my man Brandon Keeler, who was the one that brought us all together to do this in the first place. Hey, listen, I never imagined putting myself out there on the internet like this, but y'all would not hear what we're talking about if it weren't for Mr. Brandon Keeler, the founder, the creator of the Sports Nuts himself. Brandon, to you, my good sir.
Trip, man.
This has been the best experience, bar none, to do. I love every minute of being with my team. My guys are the absolute best. Like I said, we're the dream team. Where can you find us? You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter. Heck, you can even find us on Instagram. I believe Greg is working on a TikTok page. We have a YouTube channel. You see the little scroller going on right there. Yep. That's where you can find us at there, at the Sports Nuts on Facebook, at the Sports Nuts on Twitter, or AKA X. Our YouTube channel at the Sports Nuts 176. You can find me on Twitter at Keeler Brandon. We are excited for what's going to come for the next several months. When I mean be ready, I mean get your popcorn ready, because it's about to be a good show. With all that being said, for our man, the myth, the legend, Greg Troxel, for our guy, JDJ Dizzle, Mr. I don't know 24-hour theme, for our man, Shane O'Mac. Shane, who is our new, what are you again, sir? Tell everybody again what your title is, sir.
I have been privileged with being the director and assistant GM of the Sports Nuts.
Let's get it. So I got right here, yeah. Got my man JD over here, who is Gamecock director.
Yeah, director of social media, Gamecock manager. Hey, I don't care about titles. I'm just here to tell y'all what we talking about. And
we got this.
If you don't like it, move it along. And if you like it, let's ride. Much love. Be blessed, not stressed.
Shane, what do you say again?
Hey, man. Hey, much love to everybody. Peace, love, and bacon grease.
We out. Enjoy the exit video.